Right, so we're about 2,700 points away from getting the race unlocked to unlock the gold wristband. So yeah, we're going to just do some races today. It shouldn't take too many, I think, to get the points required. So we're going to do the Shimanoyama sprint. So this is 4 miles long. Head along the coastal roads before a very sharp right turn as you race through the Shimanoya or Shimanoyama region. I'm going to butcher these names, I do apologise. So we were in Extreme Track Toys in S2 class. So we have a few that we already own to choose from. Obviously some of these are time attack cars. So I think we'll choose one. Is this a time attack car? Yeah. Which one is the best though? Well, this one apparently has the most power, but also the most weight, and also not as good in terms of handling or braking. S2000 seems to be the best of the bunch. It's got very nearly as much power as the Supra, so we'll try that one out. So these time attack cars are obviously part of the time attack car pack that was part of the game as it launched. Obviously you had to buy it extra if you didn't get the premium edition. But one way I bought this game was not to buy the game outright and the premium edition on top of it, but just to buy the premium edition because this is on Game Pass at the end of the day. And I had a £25 voucher as well readily available, so I actually got this game for quite cheap, even though obviously this premium edition at full price is ridiculously expensive. Not one I'd recommend going for at full price, because it's more than £100 I believe, so yeah. Got some cars here that we haven't photographed. Hang on, let's do that. I think we're only one away from getting the Ferrari. Yep, we've got the Ferrari now. Very expensive car. Any of you guys I haven't got before? No. Okay. It's always recommended to do the promo shots during races, especially when you see a lot of the camera notifications above the cars. So yeah, these cars are sticking to the road like glue. No issues going around corners at 160 mph plus. Just very good brakes. I think we're unlocking a time attack car for the upcoming third vehicle in the car pass. It's a 70s Datsun, so yeah, probably won't review that one. I'm not overly interested in racing cars. It's only when there's something really interesting about them that I typically do review them. So I might want to do anything with that car, but in terms of a review, but most likely we'll see these cars in some other format. I'm sure they're going to be able to be used in some regard. Only going to get third place in that one. But at least it's a podium, so we will get some points, but not the full amount, I don't believe. But yeah, very close race that one. Another S2000 in second, and LFA Forza edition in first. See how many points that unlocks for us. We're on 2,700. So what are we going to be on now? Should get a rough estimate of how many more of these races we need to do. Yeah, this car has no problem whatsoever. It's just I've never raced it before, so wasn't fully sure what it was capable of. Yeah, that took us down a decent amount, 280 points. So yeah, if we can get first place in some more of these races, then we'll do well. And there we go. We've got the 250 GT Berlinetta Lusso, one of my favourite Ferraris. So yeah, that'll go nicely in my garage. Well, I guess we'll do the cross-country race since it's right next to us. Someone else has a car I've not photographed. Focus. Right, sports utility heroes in A-class, 4 miles again. Cut through the long grass of the Shuminayama region before bursting into the Horizon Stadium to wow the crowds as you speed up the race platforms. So we've not raced in the stadium yet. So we've got the DBX, the X6M, the Ioniq 5N, the Urus, the Range Rover Sport SVR, and the Land Cruiser. So the Land Cruiser and the Ioniq 5N have been upgraded into A-Class by me for A-Class racing. But since it's a new car to the series, we'll go with the X6M competition. Not a car that I like all that much, to be honest, as I said in my review. It's a car that is fundamentally compromised due to trying to be at least 3 different vehicles, an off-roader, a sports car and a coupe, and therefore it's compromised in areas that you really wouldn't them to be, such as, you know, being a sports car, it's not capable of going off-road. Being an off-roader, it's trying to, being an SUV, it's also trying to, you know, be an off-roader, but therefore it compromises the sports part of the car, and being a coupe, it means it's not got as much practicality. Blah blah blah. So yeah, but I've gone over that in my review already. So see that accordingly. It's got a few more cars there. Love the GMC Typhoon. That's a car I have upgraded for a. I think it was B class or A class. Can't remember. But I've upgraded it in such a manner that yes, it has more power than it did originally, but it's much more of a handling vehicle. So even though it's not the quickest thing in the world, you know, you're able to carry quite a decent amount of speed into the corners. Certainly more so than a lot of the other cars that I was going up against. Kind of weird to be in a big off-road truck and overtaking sports cars. So one thing this does have going for it is plenty of power. I suspect there's other people in this race that have more power than I do. Or at least maybe a lighter car. This is quite the heavyweight. Decent slow speed turning with this car, which is helpful. It's dealt with the jumps alright. Be interested to see what this can do in extreme off-road silly builds. Come on. Get better than third this time. Bye, fellow BMW. I'm gonna have to settle for second. Yeah, the DBX is definitely a better off-roader than this, which, you know, kind of weird to say that Aston Martin's built a better off-roader than anyone. But yeah, still second is better than last time, and had a decent fun time doing it in the process. So yeah, but that DBX, yeah, it's definitely the better car, even though it's not got as much power. I do believe it's lighter than what we are, and I probably have worked wonders with it in terms of the handling, because it was pretty good in the corners. But regardless, let's see how much that knocks us down to. I have been doing a lot of these point games in my own time in terms of the getting the collectibles, but there's only so many you can get, and I'm not far off getting all of them, in fact. So yeah, 2,130, so we're not far off getting below 2,000. And I think in my own time I will endeavour, if we don't get the required points for this episode, I will endeavour to win or try and win races that I have done in a previous episode already. There's a speed zone down there we can do, but I'm not sure if we can do that one or not. We'll try. We're getting my Lucid Air Sapphire, which is become the kind of car that I've used for a lot of these PR stunts. It's not suitable for all of them, granted, but it is the one I'll try out first when it comes to most of these, just to see if it can do it, and then obviously if it can't, then I'll try another vehicle that might well be more suitable. But it seems to be pretty handy at all of these. Let's see where this speed zone starts. Look out for the cameras. There we are. Exactly on one side of the road for this. So, decent run up. You need 200 mile an hour to get the full 3 stars. That is an average, it's not what you're doing at the end of it. Oh dear, understeer, understeer.
You've arrived at your destination.
That understeer really killed us there. Still got 2 stars. We'll do one run the other way just to see if it's easier that way. Usually that is the case with these, that the one way is better than the other.
You've arrived at your destination.
Well, not as quick, no. So yeah, might well need a different car for that one, but still, 2 stars is going to nonetheless contribute towards getting our points down. So now at 2,055. We've done the scramble before, I believe. Oh no, Evo versus Impreza. Let's do that one. To be honest, I've come around to enjoying more of both of these cars in terms of certain generations. You know, the Evo 3 and 4 I've enjoyed quite a lot. And then the 22B I've enjoyed as well. So, yeah, I'm not going to be a loyalist for either car, to be honest. I think both of them have put out a decent vehicle at least once or twice. So yeah, this is a 3-lap race, 4 miles long, and rough terrain awaits you on the slalom-like scramble. But in all honesty, I'm going to go for the car that I have upgraded already. Yes, the 22B is in B class at the top end, but that's just in stock form. Whereas you can see, even though the 22B is slightly better in terms of acceleration, my Evo that I've upgraded is better in terms of handling and braking. And it's not all that far off in terms of acceleration either. This Evo is a very capable car. It's a very safe option though. I see a lot of people using this in B-class racing, purely because obviously it is one of those cars that you get early on in the game. So a lot of people do choose this as a safe option, but it's still a very capable car. So let's see what it can do. Despite being Evo versus Impreza, there is not many Imprezas that I'm seeing right now. There's 2 behind. It's like a sea of Evos up front. Sneak in between those 2. Oh no, I lie, there is at least one Subaru. trying to kill me. Yeah, love this car. This is definitely one of my favourite Evos, and the fact that we've got the TM edition now is even better. Right, mucked up that corner there. Despite being an Evo versus Impreza race, there's only been 3 of the Subarus here, none of which are currently in the top 3. Could have stood to be a little bit more balanced. 6 apiece would have been a lot more fun. A fantastic car to enjoy on this course, so I'm not too annoyed. At the end of the day, this is a fantastic car, even in my butterfinger hands. Jump. Right, on the final corner, I'm finally going to get a win in today. The Evo coming good. Yeah, comfortably the quickest time, the only one below 1 minute 10. Although a couple did come close. But yeah, easy win, basically, compared to the last 2 races where obviously we didn't win. But they were obviously a lot closer. But regardless of that, that is going to give us a healthy amount of points towards getting this gold wristband. Which I believe unlocks Legend Island, which we haven't yet visited. Yep, that gets us to 1705. Alright. So we've done cross country, we've done dirt. Let's do another road race, if there is any. Hello. There we go. Hypercars. So this should be a quick one. Don't know if I've got any hypercars though. Might have won a couple, but I don't think I've intentionally bought one. Don't care about the stunt party, thank you. Right, so this is 3.8 miles, a fast-paced point-to-point run that passes through the Tateyama-Kurobe snow corridor. So that's where it has all those massive snowbanks on either side of the road, I believe. So yeah, I have won the T50 Gordon Murray Automotive, which is a pretty fantastic car. And then I think we've used the Revolto once, and the Mercedes AMG one, none. What have we got choice-wise to buy? A couple of Ferraris, Venom, Hennessy. Yeah, that's not going to be that good, to be honest. That's going to be more of a top speed run of a vehicle, to be honest. Brace of Koenigseggs, another Lamborghini, pair of McLarens. Yeah, we'll go with the Gordon Murray. should be helpful when it comes to any of the twistier stuff, because obviously it is only rear wheel drive. Therefore it shouldn't have the level of understeer that the Lamborghini would no doubt have. Won't have the launch though, or the initial acceleration, but should have the handling, and it is very light. As I said, doesn't have the launch. Does have probably the highest revving engine here. Shame we can't switch the modes on the fly, because even though I do need the high downforce aspect for some of this course, the VMAX boost would be also helpful. For instance, at this bit. I think we picked the right car. As I butcher a corner. Here are the snowbanks. Very cinematic, driving through these. More than 100 miles an hour. Speeding through the final section, a little bit sideways, but still comfortably ahead. Yeah, definitely picked the right car there. It just felt so agile and lightweight and you know, nimble. So yeah, more than 3 seconds ahead of the Mercedes AMG 1 that we had the choice of, and no Rivolto being chosen there, but closely similar. Centenario only came in 4th. So yeah, good choice there, and like again, he's going to do us really, really well in terms of getting towards that gold wristband. So I think we can fit in a couple more today. What will that do for us? 1355, very good. Still a massive shame that street racing doesn't contribute towards your points. You would have thought it would do, considering they obviously are there to, you know, race at the end of the day. Well, we've not done a point-to-point dirt race yet, so we'll do the Cherry Field Trail. See what this has in store for us. Total rally. 4.5 miles, breathtaking downhill charge into some tricky corners. Will test your ability to brake as late as they dare to gain an advantage. Right, so we have the rally cars to choose from once again. So we've chosen a few of these already, like the RS200 and the Ford Letterman, is it Fiesta? Yeah, we've used that before. Obviously we've got the treasure car Stratos. Recently won, no, I bought the Metro 6R4 because this has apparently been downgraded into the more, I think, road going friendly version. 250 horsepower, it used to have well in excess of 400, so you can use that in more classes now, which I guess is handy. And then we've got a brace of other cars here to choose from. Metro's tempting because it is really rather quick in terms of acceleration and good in terms of handling and braking, but doesn't have much in the way of top speed. Only 4.2. I think it maxes out about 125. Tempted to go for the Porsche, to be honest. We'll go for the Porsche Rally. Should be a good combination of, you know, off-road capability, handling, and top speed. It's hardly lacking for power. Let's see what we can do. Immediately up to 4th. Make that 3rd. Yeah, this Porsche is quite formidable, to be honest. Yeah, it's hardly a lightweight, but it's got plenty of power and off-road capability to make up for that. Celica's still on our tail. Around the outside of the Evo 3 into 1st. That Evo's also gotten overtaken by the Celica, so that's gone down from 1st to 3rd in only one corner. And a bit of straight. Right back on us. So 2nd, 3rd and 4th are having a right tussle. Luckily this is a trail that really does favour the more powerful cars. Although if this was still a handling circuit, I feel like this will still do well. It's got a good amount of handling to it. Porsche have done a really stand-up job with converting a 911 into a, you know, a more rally version. All of that power is really coming home on this final bit. Yeah. No arguing with that level of power when we eventually get onto the tarmac at the very least. Only 3 seconds ahead of the Evo 3. Which is hardly a slow car in A-Class, so yeah, did pretty well there. That's another 350 points, I believe. Not sure if doing the ones that in the purple wristband will yield any more points or not. I'll have to check that. Yeah, we're only on 1,005 now. Let's see if there's any... purple ones. Finding more turquoise at the moment. Yeah, there's a purple one. Yeah, it's also only 350, that one. Yeah, let's go up into the snowy area. Not been up here that much, to be honest. And that'll put us with only 600 or so points away from the gold wristband. And ultimate off-road, 4.1 miles, charge down the Sotayama ski runs before free falling into the Takashiro region and going fully off-road. So we've got some off-roaders to choose from, the Warthog, the Jeep Wrangler Unlimited, but I didn't find that to be all that good in the last time we used that. The Viper GTS ACR Forza Edition and the Ridgeline Baja Trophy from Honda. None of those are particularly exciting, to be honest. So what else have we got to choose from? Got the Trick Truck from Illumicraft. The massively powerful but also incredibly heavy Deberti F250 there. I remember the Baja truck being pretty good. I'm just worried about being rear wheel drive only, will they struggle in the snow. Decisions, because they don't have much in the way of top speed either, as you can see. I think the Trailcat might be the best option, to be honest. It's got the pretty good top speed. It's got as good, if not better, handling than a lot of these more purpose-built ones. And yeah, acceleration is fairly solid as well. The off-road capability is not all that much, and it's only 70,000 credits, whereas these, for instance, are far more expensive. Yeah, we'll go with the Trailcat. Seems like a good all-rounder, to be honest. Although I won't want to be driving it in these in these snowy conditions, given it's completely roofless and doorless. Your hands would surely freeze off at the speeds that you'd be getting up to in this. Right, high up in the mountains, soon to be more towards sea level, as we're going to be racing now. I'm not the only one in the Trailcat either. Geronimo! I forgot how good this car actually is. Seems to eat up the corners, quite frankly, considering what it is at the end of the day. No issues at all with the jumps there. Truck is all over the place. I don't know what he's doing with his front wheels there. Oh, why the front end kicked up there, that did not seem to make sense. Guess it didn't do it that time. We are coming in at a silly angle, it's not helpful. Don't worry about the water, we've got plenty of ground clearance. This first place is seemingly struggling with the water, they have actually span out. I often you see that in one of these races. Could not deal with the water for whatever reason. Maybe they were trying to dodge it and therefore got only one side of their car in, and when that does happen you can suddenly start moving in whichever direction the wheels are dragging in the water, or the other opposite way should I say. You suddenly got more grip on one side then, or more or less resistance, should I say, on one side and the other. It's kind of like when an airplane loses one engine on one side and then you have to compensate by, you know, using the power in the engine to compensate. But regardless, thanks to their mistake, that's given us a win. I don't think we would have gotten first place if that hadn't happened, because we were some way back before they ended up having some struggles. So yeah, but very close there. Less than a second in it between me and second and third. So yeah, but there we go. We're a little bit closer to getting that gold wristband, which I'm sure we'll do in the next episode.